Hello, as I can here show you the Dora the Explorer in that letter V coloring here. As you see, for letter V, so far as V for Valentine, Volunteer, and like could be Valentine also. You got that, the hearts, and it's like this along with the different Dora the Explorer characters. But you have it to where you get the seeds right here, and each seed would represent that the number of it's like how many plants it is that you have, 5 to 10 days. It is, 5 to 10 days to where you would plant a seed, and then how long it takes for, say, to sprout along with the sunlight, and then along with it's like enough nutrients or whatever it is, to grow an apple. And then you got the 7 weeks. It's like 7 weeks for it to start growing, and then 3 months. And more likely, I really would not know how long how long it takes, for to grow an apple tree. More likely, it may be a year or so for it to grow. And so far as for apple tree, that it's like apple tree mick is that so far as you see from the previous sequels that with Dora, that is like to build a money tree along with the pyramid, and along with the what we say is so far as talking about is like how many licks it takes to get to the middle of a Tootsie Roll Pop or whatever it is, so far as cotton candy, growing your own bubble gum and all that stuff. And then so far as the division tables, as you have it to where what Dora the Explorer right here is talking about, that so far with kids is that with kids that you think about that the types of maybe the types of a volunteer work that you can do while you're a kid, so far as saving your own money, and so far as it's like on a swing, that if a kid were to get on a swing right here and go back and forth, you gotta have it to where the swing goes back and forth. It's like goes back and forth and back and forth, and with with the way they swing, that allows that would you say that pot of gold is like you got the spoon along with the apples, and then then this could be apple pudding, or it could be apple sauce, or say apple chowder, or whatever you want to call it. So whatever you want to mix in with the recipe, but you have it to where the same power that is operated by the swing, could be used as like say as a stirring method. And a lot of people will probably say that with stirring, that I don't know why it's required. Why do you need to stir it so much? And a lot of times they say that the same thing goes with chocolate pudding, or it could be vanilla pudding, or whatever it is. That in fact this could be also to say as real gold, because with real gold is that this is would you say a recipe that you kind of pick up, that you may have learned it from a grandmother, or you could have learned it from a mother-in-law, or whatever it is. That so far with real gold is a taste that is that special taste that makes the product taste real good. So far as applesauce is not really the fact about how it grows, but then the ingredients that's added to that product. And so far with apples, you say apple cinnamon, or what do you say? You may add cinnamon and sugar, whatever type of recipe for apple pie. And you got the pie graphs. It's like so you got the pie graphs right here. But so far as for real gold, that more likely that you can maybe look at it is that you grow the apples. You plant the apple seed. The apple seed grows, and then it forms a number of apples on the apple tree, and then you pick the apples, pick whatever size and shape so that you want, and after that, and then you say is use it for something creative, and then other than maybe chewing bubble gum, but other than making your shoe shine, it's to say so far as the pony. But for the lunchbox right here is have it to where you can have your own packet of what you say the flavor, for whatever type of flavor that you want. So far as if you were to include, say, some applesauce, and you got the apple right here is going down the slide. It's like so far the dancing apple. But you have it right here is you got the pot of gold. You got you got the pot of gold right here. It's like so far with Hershey, that you got the pot of gold right here on the bow, but more likely that you can maybe look at letter V, V as in Valentine. As you got it right here, you have the V, but you have the letter V is like in V, it has in Valentine, or V as in Volunteer. It's like so far as the shape of the pyramid, and along right here you got the leaf. The matter of rolling the dice is that you got right here the pot of gold, right? You get the pot of gold, and then if you stir it, and have the apple, and then you stir it, and you stir it, and you stir it, you stir it, you stir it, and people probably say that the more you stir, well, what's the point of whenever you stir and stir and stir? Why don't you whisk and whisk and whisk, or why don't you slap and slap and slap? But whenever you stir and stir and stir, I mean, if people say that you're mixing up the different flavors there is so far as the ingredients go. But you have it to where you get the stir and stir and stir. But it's like so far as you do the division table and stuff like that you have it to where each apple which represents, it's like so far with positive and negative. It goes from positive to negative, but then whenever you stir it, and then all the flavors mix in, and then if you mix it all in right, then more likely you'll go to the positive. Say so far with positive, and then above, to where whatever this is that pot of gold, like this would turn in for a V. V as in for volunteer. But so far as for Dora, is that a lot of people say this, but so far with the charities, and that which you say was we're not slaves, we're just volunteering. But so far as this is like for picking apples, as you pick whatever one you want, as long as rolling the dice, is this you get the the real gold right there, along with the different fractions, and along with the swing set. But so far as the lunchbox is like what's for lunch today, is like this, like an apples. Like then, what's for dinner? Well, maybe not apples, but then what's maybe apple custard, and then maybe along with the apple sauce, and along with apple pie. And then you begin to wonder that it's like so far as studying about the planet Earth, is that the number of food that produces, would you say produces on planet Earth, so far as strawberries and blueberries goes. That you get the blueberries, and then you could say also known as for stars, but you have it to where you plant a number of them. You have a certain days or weeks or whatever you call it. You do the math on how long it takes to plant them. But so far, if I were to come up with a recipe so far as real gold, so far as you say this is like that you would say more likely it may be called apple tree Mick, and in that more likely would be say this as it runs after my name, as in Matty Mick 25. But so far as for apple tree Mick, as it goes, is that you stir it and you stir it, and then maybe add about 22, maybe 30 grams of sugar or so in it. But a lot of people will probably say that 1/3 or whatever you say of grams of sugar, or would you say a number of tablespoons or teaspoons of sugar, won't make the medicine go down. More like, it would, it will probably, make the medicine stay put and give you a headache. But more likely they probably say, nah, with real gold will put a smile on your face. But so far with Dora the Explorer, along with the different characters, and along with the count of apples, so far with Dora the Explorer, and the letter V color.